You win.
Everybody is going to, the majority of the people are going to fall underneath the spell that they're putting out there, that this is not going to be thunderous, that this is not going to be a boom. It's the same thing happened during the Depression. There's a whole bunch of people that was depressed, but then there was a group of people that was like, nah, fuck that, I'm getting to the bag. This is an opportunity to become rich or wealthy, right? Or just healthy in your mind, to whereas you're not affected by that. If you look at our people during what they call the Great Depression, our people didn't look hurt. They was looking very happy. They was with Cab Calloway and them dancing their asses off. You know what I mean? Very clean and all white, doing them dances. And it looked like the Europeans looked like they was having a hard time, to be honest with you. So let's get into this section. How to build an ecosystem of automation via your computer. Automation is the technique of making an apparatus, a process, or a system operate automatically. The state of being operated automatically controlled operation of an apparatus, process, or system by mechanical or electronic devices that take the place of human labor. Now, people are like, yo, AI this, AI that, the robots are coming, they finna take our jobs. And then I just sit back and say, well, shit, what the fuck? What was going on in General Motors for like 30 years? What are you talking about? The robots been took your job. Y'all acting like this is something brand new. What are you talking about? When our people was out there picking cotton, nigga, it was automation that took them off of the goddamn cotton field. They came with machines. The first industrial era, the first industrial boom was automation. It's just not automation that you see today. When you go and look at the TV show, how it's made, my niggas, that's automation. Those are machines at the packaging plants. Those are machines on the assembly line. Those are machines at Amazon. What are you talking about? It's just people are trying to say, oh, the whole place is going to be full of machines. That's just, that's called natural progression. They build so much of it, you don't even got enough time to fuck with all of it. They building it non-stop. Non-stop. A little bit of innovativeness, and I'll show you how you could really tap into this shit. This is just surface. When we didn't even add no sprinkle, we didn't put no goddamn spice into it. We didn't put no ingredients, no extra sauce. There's a whole bunch of shit that you could do. We didn't even explore virtual. We didn't explore augmented reality. We didn't explore a lot of shit. I'm just giving you the basics. I'm giving you the framework. It's a lot to flesh out. I'm giving you the framework, but we'll continue. Like I said, my whole year is dedicated to building this shit the way that it's supposed to be built. God damn it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not going to be distracted this one. So our good brother MF Doom, rise in power to the supervillain, if he's even on the other side. I don't know. That's what his wife has said though. So rise in power to him. But before he tapped out in typical Doom fashion, right? He went ahead and did some legendary shit. Okay? He got into the field of crypto art, right? Called NFTs. Okay? And this space is going to be a very profitable space. This is a new frontier. Okay? The non-fungible tokens that they call NFTs, right, are digital art that artists are beginning to sell, right, in the digital space for digital coins, right, cryptocurrency, and fiat for that matter. Okay. But this is the new front. This is also one of the new frontiers. Shout out to all of my artists out there. Shout out to all of my creatives out there. Shout out to all of my blurs out there. You know, shout out to everybody that are in these spaces, and even the ones that are not in these spaces. Hopefully you'll go ahead and do the research about these spaces, because I'll share something with you. If you are an artist and they're paying you in fiat, they're robbing you out the gate. Why is that? Because your art appreciates in value and the fiat does not. They're not paying you equal to what it is that you're selling them. They're ripping you off. Okay. If they were to buy it in crypto, it would make sense, because crypto at least fluctuates. It goes down. Right now it's the fucking dip. Buy the dip. Right now the shit is in red. It's you know, Bitcoin is it's not at 40,000. It's underneath that price because of Joe Biden and the new administration. But buy the dip, you know what I mean? It gives you a chance to buy in every day. This is happening. When you use a filter on Instagram, that's augmented reality. When you use a filter on your iPhone, that's augmented reality. When you use a filter on Snapchat, that's augmented reality. When you use a filter on YouTube, that's augmented reality. So augmented reality is here. When you play Pokemon Go, that's augmented reality. When you put on the Oculus Rift, that's virtual reality. When you put on the Microsoft HoloLens, that's virtual reality. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. But those are the two realities that will be very prominent by the end of this year. Mark my word. So it would be indicative to hop on top of that right now. So this was the digital artwork that sold at Christie's for 131. Right, that was a portrait of the Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto. Right, some of y'all, once again, going back to the babies, going back to the children, going back to the progeny. You know, the children, the babies, the young ones. You know what I mean? And even the young adults. You know, the indigos, the crystals. You know, this is your fucking field. This is it right here. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be the ones that are going to be creating the art for the future. You're going to be the Picassos. You know what I mean? You understand the digital art realm. You know what I mean? That's you. Go and look up. If you're a parent, tomorrow morning when young Heru wakes up, be like, you know, while y'all sitting down drinking sea moss, you know what I'm talking about, and eating spelt crackers, be like, look, I want to have a conversation about NFTs. You're like, what the fuck is that? And then boom, you introduce them into a new world. You can show them some things, and if it piques their interest, then I'm sure that they're going to perform. They're going to go ahead and explore, and they're going to do what they do. A lot of us have children that are locked into Fortnite and Roblox and things of that nature. Well, when the pivot that I would love to see is for them to create their own versions of Roblox, or their own artwork that's inspired by Roblox and Fortnite, and then put it in an NFT space and sell them shits for some Ethereum and some Bitcoin. Get you out of apartment 4D. Right? Artificial intelligence. Okay? I'm not here for the fear mongering. I'm not here to, oh, we the original artificial intelligence. Cool. I'm with that. I'm co-signing that. Cool. You know, Hotep. But I'm also not lost to the fact that there's real artificial intelligence that's being created in the digital realm. And if we don't know how to program it, it could be programmed to be utilized against us. So while we're at this early stage to be early adapters, the same way that we had the opportunity to be early adapters on a lot of things that we missed out on, we should, you know, because there's some amongst us that are called blurs, black nerds. And there's some amongst us who understand things like that. It doesn't have to be everybody. Like I said, this is not one of those, you know, peer pressure type of things. If that's not your thing, then we should not make it our thing, but understand that it is a thing that is driving the new digital economy. And for the companies that begin to sprout up, and for our children that are coming up who have a better understanding and understanding and connection to technology than the adults, right? We should begin to point them in a direction or set them up right now while they are impressionable to learn about this stuff, We should be helping them learn about AI, learn computer languages and computer programming and things of that nature. Learn how to read data and break it down. Learn internet security. All of these things are going to be sufficient. Not in the future. They're sufficient right now as we speak. There's no age limit to how you could participate in these fields, because there's teenagers out here getting right to the bag up in Google. They in them colleges. You know what I'm talking about? They at MIT. They don't care about age. It's about brain. 3D printing. I'm about to show you the 3D printer printing a house out. They're 3D printing body parts, 3D printing weapons. They 3D printed food. There's places in, you know, there's shanty towns out there. There's places that are like, you know, third world is what they call them. I don't like using that term because I don't know what that means. I call them paradise. It just got colonizers on it who have pillaged the resources, you know what I mean, and got them underneath IMF debt system and whatnot. So they got them in an economic headlock. They're not third world. They're just vassal states. You know what I'm talking about? How you gonna call Jamaica? How you gonna call Haiti? How you gonna call the same places that your ass got to pay an arm and a leg to go chill on a resort? A third world. Those paradise. They got fruits in the trees. You could put a goddamn mango seed in the ground and it'll make a mango tree. And if you go inside of the mountains and the caves, they got all of the precious stones and the gems and everything. What do you mean? Those are just vassal states. Vassal means your ass is you like a prisoner without handcuffs on. Internet of all things. Internet of all things means the smart car, the smartphone. That's the shit where people got the Ring doorbell, where you don't have to be home and you can see somebody, you can see niggas stealing your package and whatnot. That's the beginning of the internet of all things. Smart homes, smart cities, smart watches, smartphones, where everything is connected. You feel me? That's the internet of all things. Automations and robotics. Shout out to my bro DG, Derek Grace. He has robots. He has a robotic company where he has the little dog and whatnot that's robotic. Right? That's where we going with it. They got the little robots that clean up your house and whatnot. They got the little robots that are going to be able to, the same way that you have a guard dog, they're going to have robot dogs protecting your crib and whatnot. That'll be able to destroy anything in it that's posing a threat to you. I don't know if they're going to shoot lasers. I have no idea what they finna do. But I know that they're building them at Boston Dynamics. Cloud computing. Everything is in the cloud. All of your information is in the cloud. Not all of your information, but there's, you know, hundreds, thousands, trillions, thousands of terabytes, millions of terabytes of information all in the cloud. We're getting into quantum computing moving forward. The cloud is going to be ever so more important than what it already is. So I'm highly encouraging the brothers and sisters out there who have the ability to get into this shit. Learn about these technologies, please, right now. Don't put it off. If you have if you on lockdown, you in the UK, you on a fourth level lockdown, you got time on your hands, you want to take a deep dive, you in the United States of America where Sleepy Joe is about to put the mandate and the lockdown on, you about to put this shit on lockdown. Well, that means that it's time to tap into either YouTube University, you know, Stream Chasers Academy, you know what I'm talking about, or whatever else you find out there that's gonna feed your yearning to learn. Okay, because knowledge is the key. All right, some more digital economy, computing technology, digital wallets, worldwide networks, information efficiency, e-commerce, e-business, digital marketing, web development, data centers. So We find ourselves on the precipice of opportunity right now because the children need to learn, right? The children, they need to be taught. Now, here it is. We talking about automation this, automated that, and they made the children's education automation, and the shit don't work. So now they're being taught through a computer, right? They're being conditioned to be taught through the computer. So who's to say that AI won't be teaching them in a few years? I ain't talking about Allen Iverson. Who's to say that they won't be learning from Siri in a few years? Who's to say that they won't be plugged into the matrix and they'll be sitting up, learn? They won't be no real teachers anymore. They'll have teachers who are machine learned programs.